In this video, I'm going to talk about why it's so hard to create a perfect bracket, but also give you some tools that can help make your bracket even better this year. Hi, I'm Jaden Fedok, and this channel is about sports, fitness, and technology. Now, March Madness is the perfect combination of sports and technology, so I'm super excited to cover it this year. Now, I'm going to have a little bit longer of a video this time, so if you're interested in a specific topic or a specific piece of this video, I'll put some of the timestamps right here so that you can jump exactly to the part that you're specifically interested in. Before you do though, if you like this style of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it makes a big difference. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, I would really appreciate it, but let's get into the content of the video. First, let's talk about why creating the perfect bracket is so darn difficult. Now, it's all about statistics. If you took each game and you said the two competitors each have a 50-50 shot at winning each game, then you would have about a 1 in 9.2 quintillion chance of getting the correct bracket. Now, as a comparison, that is less likely than someone picking a grain of sand from anywhere on the planet and asking you to identify the exact grain of sand. It's insane to think about, but 9.2 quintillion is so far out there that it's almost out of the realm of possibility in anyone's lifetime. Luckily, not each game is 50-50, so if we talk about some of the statistics and some of the reasons we can start to get a little bit more accurate with each of our estimates, that's why you have things like ratings and seed and the BPI scores and lots of different things that I'll talk about in the predictive analytics section of this video. We can dramatically improve our chances of getting a bracket perfect. Now, I say dramatically improve, we can actually improve the chances by 70 million times, but that still only gives us a 1 in 120 billion chance of getting a perfect bracket. And lastly, even with all the statistics, all the numbers that we calculate and the predictive analytics that we have, there is a fair amount of madness in March Madness. And we know this, you never know what's gonna happen with the team. There could be injuries, there could be changes due to time zone playing or non-neutral fields, or how long of travel time the team had to go to get there, what their warm-up looked like, if there was anything that happened to the team. And this year, we've got the added complication of COVID-19, which could throw anything off at any time. So although anything can happen, it's still a super fun game to play, and there are tons of prizes that you can win for just getting the best bracket out of your specific pool, whether that's in your office or whether that's on an online tournament challenge. There are millions of dollars at stake this year. If you want to know what some of the coolest prizes that I think you can win for free entry, don't forget to stay till the end of the video. I'll talk about all those millions of dollars later. Okay, how close has anyone really gotten to a perfect bracket? Now, that's 63 games of tournament play, and you say 67 if you're counting the play-ins, but we haven't gotten there, and to be honest, we haven't even gotten close. The best bracket up until 2019 was only 39 games, which is just more than the first round. Now, the best bracket that we had in 2019 destroyed that record with a 49. Now, that's first and second round perfect. That was so incredible that tons of news stories were covering it. People flew out to meet this guy in Ohio. His name was Greg Nigel. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but it was so incredible. Now, this guy wasn't a basketball statistician, but he did incredibly well that year in the tournament challenge. Now, even though he set the record for 49 straight correct guesses, he did not end up winning the tournament. He ended up with only 5 of 8 in the Elite 8 and only 1 of the Final 4. So it's incredibly rare to be able to take that next step, and each additional game that you get correct is like an order of magnitude more difficult as far as the statistics are concerned. So even more interesting to me is that the celebrity brackets, now these are the sports statisticians, the people that are anchors on Fox or on ESPN, and they live and breathe basketball. They know everything about the basketball statistics. They know the players that are injured. They know how the teams are playing throughout the year, how they played last year, how the coaches are doing, their experience levels in the big dance. It's incredible how much information they have in their heads, and they talk about this every single day. So their brackets, you would assume, are incredibly good and probably better than average. However, these celebrity brackets don't tend to do all that well. Even last time in 2019, the best celebrity bracket ended up with only 23 out of 32 correct in the first round, and only 2 of the final 4 were correct. So it's definitely anyone's game when it comes to this bracket prediction challenge, and I want to encourage everyone, even if they don't have any basketball knowledge, to participate. The average winner of the challenge only gets 49.8% of the games correct. That's less than half, and that's the average winner according to NCAA and their bracket challenge. That should definitely tell you that if you're expecting a perfect bracket or you think you're only going to win if you can get everything right, that is not the case. You should definitely participate. It's super fun and it's enjoyable to watch and see how it plays out this year. So what tools should you use to give you a leg up in the bracket challenge? So this is probably my favorite part of the video because we get to talk about the computer assisted tools and the technology that can give us more data, more information, and more insights that can help us improve our brackets in 2021. There are 5 main aspects that I want to talk about when it comes to data and analytics with this bracket challenge. The first one is the seed rating. Now, a lot of people, when they do their first bracket, they will just say, well, this team is ranked number 1, this is number 16, so obviously the 1 is going to win. That's not the case, and March Madness is famous for upsets. But when you're playing with the seed weightings, you can really start to see a little bit more of what the chances would be of a certain team beating another in any stage of the tournament. And it can be very helpful, but it's probably the most basic of the data that you can use. The second one I want to talk about is Basketball Power Index, or BPI. Now, this is a common number that's used to show the relative skill and relative score of different basketball teams. That way you can more easily compare 2 basketball teams together that may not necessarily have played a regular season or preseason game. One thing to keep in mind with this number is that everyone can see it. Everyone who's playing on any different platform, whether that's ESPN or CBS or NCAA, they all have BPI, and it's a super public information. So a lot of the brackets will even autofill based on the BPI. So I wouldn't recommend simply choosing based on this number, but a common thing that I'll do if I need to autofill brackets or I don't get there in time is to use random weights with the BPI. So if you have one team that has a BPI of 20, for example, and one with 40, you could select a random number between 1 and 60, and if it's in the second 40 or the first 20, you can decide there which team will win. And that gives a little bit more weight to the teams with higher BPI, but it also accommodates for a level of randomness in the tournament. And I really like doing it that way, so you're more than welcome to. So matchup statistics are another one that I really like to use, just more of a check than anything else. I won't make picks based on this, but you can see these matchup statistics on ESPN when you're making your bracket. Or you can see them on sites like USA Today has a really good article on historical statistics that I'll link below. I'm going to have a ton of articles linked below, so just brace yourself. The description is going to be full of links everywhere. So if you're interested in that, you're more than welcome to peruse those articles. But the matchup statistics themselves are really useful because it'll tell you over history how well 9s do over 8s, or 12s over 5s, 1s over 16s, and that can be very valuable information. For example, how would you change your picks if you knew that 135 out of the last 136 times a number 1 seed has beat a number 16 seed? That's definitely going to make you think more often than not a number 1 is going to beat a number 16. Now, that having been said, March Madness is madness. Last season, 2019, Virginia won the tournament. The season before that, they were the 136th option, where they actually lost to a number 16 seed. So anything can happen in this tournament, and keep in mind that it usually does. Okay, now we're getting into predictive analytics and computer-assisted machine learning and tools and algorithms that can make it even better. Now, predictive analytics themselves are probably a topic that we'll have to cover in another video, but essentially, it's taking a huge amount of data. The computer combs through all that data and identifies certain markers that have specific weights on an outcome. So if BPI is a great weight on an outcome, or if something else is a factor, the computer can analyze that over huge quantities of data and give you a rather accurate solution. Now again, I should say it's not perfect, and that's why the computer doesn't win March Madness, but it's a really great way to check some of your picks. There are some really cool sites, and I'll link a couple of those below, where you can go and you can compare 2 teams' matchups based on certain predictive algorithms like the ELO score, which is a common chess algorithm that we use in this to compare relative scores and performance statistics. A site that I love that I want to talk about when it comes to analytics and predictive statistics is 538. They are very common for polling and for anything that has to do with statistics in general. Brilliant guys over there, and I really love checking out their site. If you want to go over there and see anything sports related or politics related, they've got it all. So 538, I'll link it below, but they have a really cool algorithm predictor where they'll combine 6 different rating scores, which includes BPI, it includes the ELO score, and I think 4 different coaches' rating systems all combined together to give you an overall prediction score, and it gives you a rating of how likely they think any specific team is to win the entire tournament, which is very helpful because a lot more points are weighted toward picking the winner than toward picking an accurate first round win. So keep in mind that you want to understand which team overall is going to win and start to pick your bracket that way. But 538 can be an excellent tool in helping you figure that out. So checking all of these options is going to help you improve your bracket this year. And I hope that it's helpful to you, and if it is, don't forget to leave a like on this video. If you want more information, drop me a comment, ask a specific question, and I'll definitely get to it and help you as best I can. We only have a couple of days to finish these brackets, but I'll do everything I can to get back to you quick. So before this video ends, I want to talk about some of the biggest prizes that are available to the March Madness tournament so that you can enter for free and potentially win a whole lot of money. So links to all of these are going to be in the description below. As I mentioned, tons of links. Go there for anything that you're looking for. The first one I want to talk about is DraftKings. They're offering $1 million to the best bracket this year. They have a specific challenge. I'm sure you'll have to log into DraftKings and create an account there, but if you create a bracket, you do have a chance at winning that $1 million, which is quite a hefty sum of money just for a short tournament. The second one on this list is BetMGM. Now, MGM is really popular for sports betting and things like that, but I don't consider March Madness as much sports betting, especially because it's free to enter. I'm only talking about the ones that are free to enter in this case. They're willing to pay out $2 million for anyone that picks a perfect bracket. Now, that's probably more of a media stunt and a PR thing because the likelihood of someone picking a perfect bracket is so unlikely. But I highlight them because they'll also give $100,000 to the winning bracket that participates in their online service. Another one to note is Yahoo's Pick'em tournament, and they do this every year that March Madness exists, so not last year, but $50,000 they're willing to give to the top bracket in their challenge. Fourth on the list is ESPN. The ESPN Tournament Challenge is the one that I do every year. It's super common. Tons of people do it. They have a great UI, and I really like how it works, how you build the brackets there, and how you can check on your leaderboards there. I do different groups with ESPN as well, and it works really great for me. Their prize this year, the grand prize, is a trip to Hawaii so you can participate in the Maui Invitational, as well as $10,000 in Amazon gift cards. So that's a ton of money, it's a great win, and it's for the person who comes in first in their overall tournament challenge. You don't have to have a perfect bracket for a lot of these, you just have to beat everyone else, which in itself is difficult, but it means that someone is going to win. So I wanted to mention this last one, even though it's not applicable to everyone. If you're an employee of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, who owns that company, puts on a massive giveaway every year with March Madness. He's been famous in the past for offering $1 billion to anyone who could get a perfect bracket. Again, it's so unlikely that that happens, but $1 billion is a ton of money, so that's pretty exciting. Right now, and this year in 2021, he's going to be giving $1 million to any of his employees. Now, it's an employees-only tournament, so that's why it's an honorable mention and not anything else. $1 million to any of his employees that are able to guess the entire first round correct, which does happen. And if you can guess the first and second rounds perfect, he'll give you $1 million a year for the rest of your life. And that's if you're an employee of the company, obviously. But man, it almost makes me think I should change my career just for a few months, just in case. Okay, that's the end of the video. Good luck, everyone. I'm excited for this year's March Madness. I'm excited for your brackets. Don't forget to come back to this video and comment how you did in your tournament and if any of the tools that I shared in this video were helpful to you. Best of luck out there and enjoy the tournament. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you like the content and you want to see more of it, I made a playlist just for you about some of the other technologies that I've highlighted in sports, and you can find that right here. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel because you want to see more of my content and some of the awesome videos that I have planned for the future, don't forget to subscribe right over here. Thanks for watching the video and have a great rest of your day.